Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and we're just going to do a pretty short video today. The first part of the video is going to be my just explaining how I have a little bit of room for some extra students, probably from like now to, well, hopefully going forwards. But yeah, my work schedule is changing at the start of October. We'll cover it in a moment, but I am looking to work with some more students. That's the first thing we're going to cover in the video. And then I've got two topics that I've taken from my Facebook group this week that I'd like to cover off to for you guys who are watching on YouTube but aren't members of the Facebook group, because we only have, what is it, let's see, 540 members of the Facebook group, but there's 800 and something subscribers on YouTube. Now I know not everyone watches the videos on YouTube, but I'm sure there's some crossover where some of you guys aren't in the Facebook group but do watch on YouTube and vice versa. So for those of you who didn't see in the Facebook group, I am about to, well, I'm in the process of trying to find some new players to work with. As of the start of October, I'm going to have a pretty decent amount of extra spare time to devote to poker, both playing and the coaching and mentoring side of the coaching and mentoring side of things. This is because my home care business is growing pretty nicely. For those of you who don't know, I am a support worker in my day job for people, mostly adults with learning disabilities, but I've also started trying to branch out into giving respite care to families with children with learning disabilities too, and doing that from home. And between my wife and myself now, we now have 4 children that come to visit us on a regular basis. We're hoping to grow that even further. So I'm going to take a punt in October and try to get some more families involved with us and taking less time at work. So in the short to medium term, I'm hoping to have a bit more time to allow myself to play and coach more poker. So if you have been thinking for a while about getting some help with your game, if you're a long-term losing player at the micro stakes, or if you're someone who's kind of playing 5-0, struggling to move up to 10-0, which we're going to tackle later in the video, or someone 10-0 struggling to move up to 25-0 or 20-0 or whatever, just give me a call. So that's if you're struggling to move up, or if you're a long-term losing player and you just think, you know what, I could just do with a little bit of help and I've got a little bit of money to spend, then get in touch with me and we'll have a little chat about how I can help you. The reason we're showing the graph here is just to demonstrate. This is like 100,000 hands that I played recently. If you didn't check out my 100,000 hand video, please do look back a few videos, and we'll break this down further in the video of how it breaks down in terms of like my win rates and through various limits and how I build my ranges, how I play my game. That's all in the if you look back a little bit, there's like 100 video. If you want to know more about how this graph was made, look back at that video. This is just to demonstrate that I currently do beat the games that you guys are playing, and probably if you're watching this channel struggle to beat. This is how it breaks down briefly. Like, we've got around 30,000 hands each of 25-0 full ring on Pokerstars, 10-0 fast fold on mostly party poker, and 13-0 snap. So proof that I'm a more than competitive player in different facets of the game, all kind of ring games, but different levels, different limits, different sites. I also make most of my money on Sky with a little bit on Unibet, but because they don't have tracking software, it's really hard to demonstrate that and prove it. So which is why I do this too. I'd rather not have to play on some of the main sites and fast forward, and I'm hoping that this graph will at least carry me through to the end of the year, because I do advocate people game select, and there's not much game selection when it comes to fast forward, even though, as you can see, I do pretty well, and like historically I've done well too. This is just 100,000 hands. If I look back through other computers and various screenshots I've shared down the years, I could demonstrate these have been my win rates now since about 2010, 2011. So I'm a very consistent micro stakes crusher, and I can certainly help you get there too. I can help you become, if not a crusher, I can certainly help you become a winning player, where you can then build your own style from like a pretty solid foundations that working me would give you. So there we go. That's like the first bit of the first part of the video. If you are struggling, if you do have some money to spend and you'd like to work on your game with me, give me a shout. My rates are $30 for one session. One session is typically an hour. $75 for 3 sessions or $100 for 5 sessions. So for $20 a session for the 5-session package, I really do think it's great value, even if you only ever ended up using 2 or 3 of those sessions to help you become that winning player, and then took months and months to use the last 2. Either when you want to move up again or when you're just having some crisis of confidence. If you just spend $50, $60 and don't use your last 2 sessions, if it helps you move up a couple of limits or help stop you being a losing player, it's going to be $100 well spent. So yeah, please do consider it. Please do consider getting in touch through the ways that are listed below the video. So that's that. We're going to move now on to an observation that a player from the Facebook group, I'm not going to use his name in case he doesn't want me to, but there's a regular contributor to my Facebook group, and he's been playing a lot of 4NL on Sky and Unibet. He's just started shotting 10NL, and he made a post back a couple of days ago saying, wow, 10NL was horrendous on Unibet. 3 bets and squeezes left, right and centre, getting check raised on the flop, and I'm not used to this aggression. I feel like I'm getting run over. This is a very, very common feeling for people that move up. Do I think there's a huge difference in quality of play between 5 and 10NL? I think there's some difference. I think the breaks are definitely better at 10NL and maybe slightly more aggressive. But I think a lot of the time when we move up, we're just hypersensitive to like very small changes in the way the games are played, and it does very much feel like you're getting run over, particularly if when you move up and you are like maybe just being hypersensitive to the extra aggression, and on top of that you're not really connecting with many boards in like a short-term variance type of way. It really can massively play with your confidence, massively play with your mind, and make you think that you jumped up into a game that's too tough for you. If you've been winning at, say, 5NL or 4NL and you move to 10NL, it's very likely that 10NL isn't going to be too tough for you in the long term. If your win rate's been very marginal at the lower limits, like 1 or 2 blinds, maybe then you need to work on your game to reproduce that win rate at 10NL. But if you've been winning at not anything from, say, 4 to 10 blinds, 100 at 5NL, I would expect you could just transfer that game to most 10NL games and still be a winning player. Whether you'd be a winning player at the same win rate is open to debate. It would depend how you mentally adjust to the games, but overall it's super likely you're still going to be a winning player long term. But it's really easy to get results orientated in the short term when we step up. So you want to try and avoid that. You want to try and avoid being result orientated, as we've talked about. You want to try and avoid being hypersensitive to the 3 bets that you're facing and the post-flop aggression that you're facing, because you faced all this at the lower limits. You just were used to it at the lower limits. You were playing pots sizes you were comfortable with. You were seeing bets and raise sizes you were comfortable with. So none of it fazed you that much. It's not going to be like going from 5 to 10 where everyone all of a sudden has 12, 13, 14, 15% 3 bets from like a 5% 3 bet. People's check raising percentages aren't going to be that much higher than the 8 to 12% that you were seeing at the 5NL, or if you're playing 10NL to 25NL, that type of thing. The game doesn't change that much, just going up increments per increments. Now, if you were going from 4NL Unibet to 10NL on Pokerstars Zoom, then there will be a significant step change in what you were doing. But from site to site, if you're going 4NL Unibet to 10NL Unibet, 4NL Sky to 10NL Sky, 5NL Zoom to 10NL Zoom, etc., the jump isn't going to be so big that you should allow it to phase you. Just allow yourself time to adjust to the new limits. Maybe if you don't want to do the jump in one go and you're a multi-table, then maybe just have some tables at your old limit, some tables at your new limit, so it seems less daunting, and just like try and take the sting out of the situation for yourself, and just accept that your first few sessions are going to come with a certain like lack of confidence, a certain like expectancy of the games to be harder than they perhaps will be, because you're just going to think that to yourself, I'm moving up, these games are going to be tougher. So you kind of, it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if you're not careful. So yeah, just a little, that's just like a brief chat about moving up. If you are, again, just to touch back to the first part of the video, if you are in the process of moving up and you're struggling to deal with it and you're struggling to cope, but you want to make it stick, again, just think about getting in touch with me. Maybe you just want one session just to get some questions off your chest. Maybe you want a handful of sessions to try and help make the move up a little bit easier, with having somebody there with you to kind of bounce things off, to bounce your thoughts off, to hold your hand through it, if you will, however you want to look at it. So yeah, again, if you are moving up like the gentleman from the Facebook group, and you're struggling with it, again, get in touch, and I'm sure I'll be able to help you make the transition much more smoothly. So we move on to the last subject that I want to tackle this week. Again, it's come from my Facebook group, and someone has asked, is anyone playing fast forward 25 and all at Party Poker? Any idea what the level is there? This is a question that's going to be asked a lot over the coming weeks and months as more and more players migrate from Pokerstars to Party Poker. I would recommend, if you are a Pokerstars player right now at 10NL, 25NL, and you're not getting an awful lot out of your chests and things, but you're a winning player, I would strongly recommend you think about moving to Party Poker. I've got a friend there who's playing at the moment. He's only playing maybe 12 to 15 hours a week at 25NL, and he's getting $75 rate back for his play. Which is obviously, it's a nice amount that you're certainly not going to be getting for the same level of play on Pokerstars. I'm not sure how it would work on Pokerstars, how much you'd get for 12 hours, or like 12 to 15,000 hands or 25NL, but I'm guessing your rate back wouldn't be in the region of $75. So if you are thinking of moving, then we're going to talk a little bit about Party Poker now, and hopefully give you some ideas about how much different the games are. Before we move on to that, if you are a member of the Facebook group, or if you're not a member of the Facebook group but would like some added rate back on Party Poker, I am in contact with a young man who is a run it once coach. I always get run it once and run it up and mixed up. I am in touch with a gentleman who's a coach on Phil Galfon's site. He's very reputable. He has lots of different rateback deals at different sites. Party Poker will be his main one, where he can offer up to 70% rateback. Now that depends on how much volume you're putting in. You're not just going to get 70% as like a 5NL player playing 5 hours a week. But if you're a reasonably high stakes player and you play lots of volume, he can get you up to 70% rate back with various rate races, deposit bonuses, that type of thing. So if you have a dormant account on Party Poker you haven't used within 6 months, or you've never had a Party Poker account, or you're going to open a new Party Poker account, please think about getting in touch with me first, and I can try and hook you up with Ian, who will get you the best deal that you can possibly get on Party Poker. That was some unwitting spam. I wasn't meant to be mentioning that, but it just came to me as we were talking about Party. In terms of how hard is Party Poker compared to other fast forward sites right now, and I've got a good experience of all of them, I'd say it's probably as tough as Pokerstars, but you're getting the extra rewards, and you can get more hands per hour on fast forward. There's no time bank, or there's a very small time bank, so it's kind of, you've got to be quick on your wits, you've got to play faster, which does make it harder. You don't have any chance to tank. If you're the sort of person who likes to tank through decisions and use time banks, then Party Poker probably won't be for you. If you're the sort of player who's got a lot of standard lines down pat, and you've got a very good solid game that you can rely on to reproduce at quick speeds, then it might be a really good option for you, because my friend at the moment is playing 3 tables an hour, 3 tables, and he's getting 1,000 hands per hour 3 tabling. So if you're a guy who's wanting high volume and you're a guy who's good at making good quick decisions, then I'd say moving from Pokerstars to Party Poker will be an incredibly good idea. Also, if you're playing on 888 13L Snap, where you can, the most you can really get playing 3 tables of Snap is maybe 700 pounds per hour and very little rate back, well then moving to Party Poker 25NL again will probably be a better option for you than playing 13L Snap. I promise I'm not trying to push guys down the Party Poker route just so Ian can make some money off the affiliate money. It's genuinely because I think if you want to play fast fold, Party Poker is the place to play right now. I personally don't advocate that you do play fast fold. I strongly recommend most players play regular tables and game select. But if for speed poker is your thing and you're not interested in like going down the lower volume, higher win rate route that I recommend to all my students, then please do get in touch and go to Party Poker. If you don't want a good deal, that's fine. Go to Party Poker anyway, because it's going to be the best place for you to be doing your play right now. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about in the video, the coaching, the moving up, the level of play on Party Poker compared to other sites, please do get in touch. Come and join the Facebook group. Come and ask me there, where we can give more detailed answers and more people can join in the conversation and just get involved. Poker's a lot of fun. it's even more fun when you're part of a community. And we're building a really nice community over at on my Facebook group at Reggie Time. What's it called now? I don't remember what it's called now. Reggie Time, whatever it's fucking called, I can't even see. Reggie Time Microstakes Poker Group. Put that in put that in Facebook. Come and find us. Come and get involved. The group's going nicely. It's really friendly. There's no trolls. If there's occasionally a troll slips through the net, they're instantly banned. We don't fuck around. I have a zero tolerance policy on trolls. So if you're a beginning, losing player, or if you're a microstakes player with not many contacts, no friends in poker, or you find the poker quite lonely pursuit, come and get involved. Come and join up, and just contribute. The more you put in, the more you get out. So yeah, I'd like to see you. I'd hope to see more people joining the Facebook group on the back of this. I hope to see more YouTube subscribers, and if I do manage to find some more of you guys who want to work with me, that would be fantastic. But if not, have a great week. We'll be back with some hands, reviewing some hands with James, probably on Monday next week. If you can't wait till then, look back at some of my back catalogue. I've got an awful lot of videos, so please have a look back at them too. We'll leave it there. Have a great weekend, and goodbye for now.